Hi there, and welcome to Story Time with Uncle Bill. And I'm hoping to get you ready to eat. I don't got a whole lot of time, and I'm hungry. And I probably wasn't trying to make a video. We chop these pork chops up over here and throw them in a deep fat fryer right quick. But I kind of want to bake pork chops, so that's what we're gonna make. We're gonna make some baked pork chops today with some instant mashed potatoes and gravy. Sound like a winner, doesn't it? Got the oven preheated to 450. We're gonna turn that way down. We're just getting it hot for the beginning. I'm gonna spray the pan. I'm gonna take the pork chops and we're gonna season them together. Make a mess, right? Now, I can't stand no bland food. I mean, this is what naked meat looks like. Just a pork chop. I got to see color on mine. We're gonna start with some pepper, where you really see it. And I know it's got the right amount when I can see it's coated on there. And we go to salt. Now, you don't want a whole lot of salt, but pork got plenty of it. And a couple of these products got extra salt in it, but that's all right. We're not gonna live forever. This is garlic, some garlic powder, some Old Nature seasoning. Just want a nice little layer on both sides. I got a nice little special treat. It's Tony Sriracha's Creole seasoning. Yeah, there we go. And of course, we gotta have the adobo. That's part one. We take our spray pan and put it right in the pan with a fork. And flip it over. So you can see just how bland it looks over there. See, that's the raw. That's okay. That's okay. So see this one side? All over. You got to have it all over. There we go. She's in there. You see all that moisture on there? You want to try to get as much as you can off. And I'm going to come back in. I'm not going to be done with this. Got that off. Go back. I'm going to go with the garlic first. Heavy on it. A lot of this is going to float off. Adobo. Creole. And the pepper. No salt this time. I used to work. All right. What you think, folks? I'm just gonna plop it just like that right in the oven. That's gonna be in there for about 30 to 40 minutes. So we can slow through this. Wash this stuff up right quick. When I was 19 years old, I was on the run from the law and ended up in the backwoods of Kinston, North Carolina, out in Seven Springs. And I met this girl out there. I was living in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Met this girl out there, fell in love, and her daddy asked me to move in with him. He said he knew I was going to take his daughter away. And this is a whole other story, but it's a prelude to it. could I go move into a single wide trailer with him, his wife, and his daughter, sleep on the floor, pay $400 a month, and not take his daughter away from him? I said, that ain't no problem, man. He was about 7 years old. Good dude. And it was one of the most, I felt it, you know what I mean? And there wasn't no reason for me not to say no. Now it was a tough situation now. But it worked. And it worked like that for quite a while too. Probably like almost a year. So I was working in asphalt in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I didn't want to go back and forth. And I used to stay, before I actually moved in there, I used to stay on the weekends. Monday through Friday, work my job, and then Saturday and Sunday stay there, and Sunday night go home. And I saw this ad in the paper, Thornapple Valley. No, not Thornapple Valley, my bad. Smithfield Packing, which is all the hams, pork chops, they make all pork products. They was looking for a dishwasher. Pots and it's pots, and not dishes, it's pots. And so I applied for it and got it. And man, so the hams and stuff that they make, they got molds for them, and you have to clean those, and they're real edgy on the top, and you never use a scrubber or like a rag or anything. It goes into a chemical bath, like hydrochloric acid. So let's get the water cold. When you do the potatoes, you use hot water. When you do the gravy, it's cold water. And the directions are always on the bag. But you get to know that the more you do it. So I need one for each. I don't mind doing an extra weight. So I got the job. Now it had a hydrochloric bath, like a stainless steel tub. It's about as big as this island right here. And it had on a chain system that went like this, and the chain to lower and a chain to adjust it. So you had to pull the chain, and it was linky, and it would operate on how fast you would pull it, much like your blinds. And if you went too fast, this is all acid at the bottom of this now. I mean, it's just pure damn acid. So if it goes too fast, it splashes. So you got to go slow. They say, oh, you got to wash it. You got to go really, really slow. You got to be careful, careful, careful. Now you have on your clothes a big ass heavy duty smock, a hard hat, glasses, a face shield, ear muffs, ear plugs. Maybe that's all. But you're loaded. You're loaded down. It's cold in there. Everywhere's cold except the ovens where the cooking goes. Everywhere else is cold. It's cold. The damn chain broke on me, folks. Bam! And look, I had a face shield on. I mean, a big ass face shield. The big face shields with glasses. The shit came up underneath it. It came up under, like if I went like that real quick, it would have blocked it. Came up underneath right on my face. Boy, I panicked, folks. I was so damn scared. They show you where all that, when you first get hired, you got to watch all these videos and stuff, and take all these tests that you can get in the plant, and then show you where all the emergency baths are. Especially around the chemical places, a few places where there's chemicals are. And that was one of them. Man, I jumped out my damn clothes because I wasn't sure all where it went, because if it went up in my face, what if it came back down, was on my body? I don't know how fast this stuff acts. It just says if it gets on you, immediately get into an emergency shower and stay there for 15 minutes. It was cold, folks. I was like, no! Oh my God, my damn face is going to fall off. Oh my God, my face is going to fall off. Oh Lord, don't let my face fall off. Lord have mercy. Ah, then they had to take a urinalysis test. I was clean, but came up clean. That's the truth. Um, Nothing happened of it though. But I had applied for. They had a bulletin thing that said, "Hey, we need a quality control insurance inspector," and it was like a couple more bucks than what I was making then, and then all you needed was a GED. Well, I had management experience, so I was thinking maybe that would be the end for me. You see if I need something here, and so I applied for it, and while I was, I still worked. I didn't get no time off or nothing. But like not long after I had left after I had left um, the nurse's station where they did the urinalysis, um, I got a call over the thing. I was getting ready to go back to work. They put some cream on me. I just had a couple blotches and stuff. She didn't feel it was relevant. The urinalysis came back clean. She said it was kind of close, whatever that meant. She said clean. So, but I got a call. It's like, hey, William, can you go to the quality control room? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to get an interview. And I always feel good about interviews. I mean, interviews is about selling yourself. And once you sell yourself, all you got to do is deliver. If it's something I'm passionate about, I'm about to do that. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't know what it entailed or anything. It had a brief description, but I had some real good questions I asked her, and I had already been hired. She was just trying to see what kind of person I was. All right, now I'm gonna drop the temperature down to 350. Let's go to 375. Put 22 minutes. We'll check. So I didn't tell you, the quality control inspectors, they go around the buildings, and I seen them all the time. And there was only two of them. There was three. There was two that walked around and one boss. And she had on a different. They all had your helmet signified where you work. So if you had the white helmet, you was in packing. If you had the yellow helmet, you was in receiving. If you had the quality control, they had the gold helmet. And the woman that was in charge of the quality control, she had a gold helmet, but it was a different kind of shape. It was cool. I wanted that gold helmet, and I already had it with my name on it. As soon as I got into the office, start tomorrow, I already got the raise. Cha-ching. I'm in it now, happy. But I had been told when I first got there, hey, there's going to be a quality control woman that walks around, and she just really ain't the nicest of people. You got to be on your toes. I mean, we're cleaning stuff with acid. I mean, how, you know. And I had seen her a few times, but she just went in and went out, no problem. But the woman, the manager was like, look, old girl, she been here a while, and she has a tendency to run people off. She really is a good person. She's just trying to do her job. You know, you won't be together or anything. You know, you'll be on one side, she'll be on the other, and you rotate. So you're everywhere. Somebody's always around that area. And the job, listen to what the job was. You had to watch people when they come out of breaks, wash their hands at the hand station. Each one had to wash their hands for at least a minute with hot soapy water. That was my job. And it'd be like 15, 20 people. Just sit there with a clipboard, with a big smock. You get the smock, you get the lab coat with your name on it. There's a quality control on it, man. And look, you got a lot of power too. You can shut the department down. Like I literally had to pat like 19, 20 years, probably 20 years old. They go in and where they're cutting out the pork tenderloins off the pig and making fillets. out of filet pork chops with boning knives. If they've got blood in there or too much fat or anything, mainly blood though. Blood would get you shut down because then you contaminated the whole batch. And you know they're over there fine cutting. I mean, you should see it's like an assembly line of people with knives and masks. You can't even see them. You know what I mean? They're just sitting there and they're just cutting pork all day, cutting pork, cutting the individual parts, and then you go over to another section, and they got these saws. It's just a saw blade, and they're rolling hams across it. That's how you get from a big hand to a small hand. Bam, 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 bam. Or making quarter cuts. Wop, 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 wop. You should see them. It's a human being. Wop, wop, wop. Probably a machine now. Because the plant I work at ain't even open no more. It's I was one of the last people on the totem pole too. Or you go into another part and they take those loins, the small ones, and there'll be a whole vat. That's why if there's blood in there, the whole vat's contaminated. You got to shut it down, clean that all up. This vat dumps onto this conveyor belt, all of them out. Looks like a bunch of little fat pork chops, little tender ones. And this goes into the machine, and the machine is a press like this, and there's needles. I mean, just damn needles everywhere, and they're full of brine, pickle juice, some salt, some salty, more sugar, different water, but they're pumping it. It just smashing it full of putting that juice in there. That's why when you buy something and you cook it and it gets all smaller, it's all water, salt, and all the good stuff. Because it doesn't taste like that raw. It's just not made to. It's got like that. But my job was to make sure that at the end it had a certain texture and the brine. Each brining solution comes with in a vat, and you have to take a little bit of that, and they have a like litmus paper, and you have to check every one every 4 hours. But that was quick. And then you go into a big oven, great big oven, and they got these trees, and that they're square, and they have these peg things on them, and you just hook the hams on them. Man, you want to talk about there's like 30 hams on these racks, and there's thousands. I mean, just as far as you can see, the oven's huge. It's like a sky-rise apartment building, one floor of it, and there's just all these hams, and you got to go stick them in every so many feet, every 10 feet, in the middle, on the outside. But it's quick work, you know what I mean? Just pop. I think it's like you can walk in there comfortably. They cook in there a long time. I mean, when people say, "Hey, slow cook for 24 hours, 48 hours," it's for real. I mean, it's literally for real. It's in there because you can walk in there. You can't walk in the oven that's cooking right now at 350. It wouldn't be good. Wouldn't be good for your shoes. You know what I mean? So that was a sweet part of the job. Loved it. It was you got to imagine now, come around October, because everybody might want a ham for Thanksgiving and Christmas. They're cranking. I mean, just all the damn overtime you could get. Busy, cranking out bonuses. I come in one day, I was sick, and I was sick the night before and had said something, but I was like almost throwing up in my mask, uncontrollable coughing, deep in my chest pains. I had that weakness, the achiness in the joints, and I always wore a beard mask. Even with all that other, matter of fact, when I got the quality control, I didn't have to wear none of that other stuff. All I had was the white smock, but I always wore a beard mask. Always wore a beard mask. And I went to the girl. And we ain't never really had too many problems. We had some where she gave me some advice and stuff, but really nothing that it bothered me. I didn't feel a certain way. I wouldn't say we was like best friends or anything. We just worked together. in opposite sides all the time. Well, I had told her I was sick and I needed to go home. There was no way in hell I'd be able to make it, and I didn't probably wouldn't be able to make it tomorrow neither. The way I'm feeling, and I don't lay out on work. As a matter of fact, I probably haven't been sick probably in about 10 years, other than I get an ear infection from sinuses, and my eyes will blow up from the same thing. And there's nothing I could do about that. I mean, like literally, I go to the doctors and there's like prednisone. You have to have a steroid. You just got something that you can't beat. It's not a cold. It's not a virus. Not ill. It's just sinus infection. So she's like, if you go home, I'm gonna fire you. Blah blah. Blah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I'm telling you, I got to go home. So I went home, and there was no way in hell. So the next day, I went to the doctor, and I had walking pneumonia, bronchitis. And, you know, I had a week. Now I had a week off of work, not just the next day. You're sick. You just need to stay home. What you got, you could get everybody else sick. Not worth it. I had the flu. It was just I was down, and then I was down for the whole week. Well, I was like, I got the doctor's note. I'm coming back in. I had got a call saying I was fired, and I was like, okay. Well, the president was this old dude who's hard of hearing, and I'd see him walk around every now and again when I was outside on break. But I just took a shot, you know what I mean? Because I didn't feel like I got dealt right, and went in and talked to him. I had to set up an appointment, and it was probably about 3 or 4 days later, and he called. The secretary called me and said, "Mr. Whoever could come and you could come and talk to him." And I went in and I was worried about it. I was like, man, I'm going to sit here and make a point to the dude, and he's not going to be able to hear me or understand me, and it's just not going to work out well. I was so wrong, thank God, too. And I made sure I looked at his lips. I don't even know if he really heard me or not. I do know that when he talked back, I knew he did. And I told him the situation, and he said, you got the doctor's note? And I was like, yeah, I have the doctor's note. And I gave him the doctor's note, and he checked, you know, when the termination paper came in, when the incident occurred, that I had left the job, how I left the job, did I try to do things the right way? Yes, I went to the doctor. So he was like, okay, so have had multiple problems with her over the past. I mean, she's not really doing anything wrong. She's just doing her job. But you shouldn't be fired for it because you were actually sick. So this is what I'm going to do. Says you've never missed a day of work. So we're going to say you never missed a day of work. We're going to pay you for all the days that you've been out for your inconvenience. And where would you like to work at? And I was like, what? I was like, oh, yeah, man. Well, mind you, I went and I know all the places now. And and they had a new chart that had came out. I looked at everything because, you know, there was a lot of downtime, and I just been walking around the building and checking it out. The only person that was above us, no managers, not anybody in that damn plant was above us, except the USDA man that had a building outside, and he worked for the Department of Agriculture, United States Department of Agriculture, and like if we shut it down, another department manager couldn't come in and say, no, you're only a 19-year-old. No, that's not how it worked. That was my job, and I'm going to have the backing of the quality control people all the time. But regardless of, as long as I'm making the right decision, they say, I'll always have your back. And they know that. So there ain't no debate. You just got to fix whatever's wrong. That's all you got to do. Unless he says you can continue. And he told me right off the rip. And I'm 90% of the time I've always had just very few. He gave me all the money for those days, and I had wanted to be a team leader in the slicing department. I thought that would be cool. And that's just where a piece of ham comes down, and it's got beats a piece of film. Ham plops on, another piece of film comes down. It goes through a sealer, boom. That's how you buy sliced ham or any other product. But that particular line was a sliced ham one. Man, that thing sucked. It was a $2 more raise than what I got then. Got to back it up. I had to wait to get that because the person was retiring. and it would be like 2 weeks. So I had to work on unloading the hams off those trees. Now the trees were in the air, and they had like what I call a rail. It's a rail system, and there's a bunch. I mean, it's hard. It would have to diagram it, but there's all these interlocking ways that these racks weigh about 100 pounds, and they're metal, and they got skinny metal, thin and skinny metal racks with loops on them to hang these hams. There's three of them. They're about 7 foot high, and they're about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground. So you just pop these hams off like this, and you got it's got a net. You take it, you slice it, you cut it, and you pull the ham out, and then they start processing it, cutting it up over there. It's hard. These hams weigh about 20 or 30 pounds, and just try to do that without weight. See how many times you could do that with just like this. For real. And it's 30 pounds every time. And there's hundreds of these trees. And that was just one side. There's 4 sides of it. So when that side gets done, you twist it around and you go over. You rip it with the knife. Y'all already tired. By the time you get one rack done, you're tired. You just see a never-ending line. Man, that was rough. Well, when the rack gets done, you got to move it. It's heavy. It's heavy. Now to roll it, it's on a wheel, one of those trolley wheels, 2 of them, and these rails have strings on them. So if it's at a T intersection and I want to go this way, I pull the string down and another rail comes up and it goes this way. Or if I want to go this way, I pull a string on this way and it goes that way. It closes this and it comes over like that. Or if I want to go straight, I pull them both and it goes in and makes the line. Or it's open, which means you got to pick a track. It just when it gets to that thing, that's how you take the rack off. That's how you take the rack on and off. And it normally takes 4 people because you want to do it where it doesn't hurt nobody. I was pushing it. Lackadaisical. I was high as hell and smoking weed. I had smoked weed on my break. And I think I was pushing it like this, open-handed. If I had been holding it, it would have just fell. And I just, when it went down, it would just fell a couple of feet and nothing would have happened. But I was holding it like this. When it hit that opening, it fell. And my hand, the metal was like this. When it fell, my hand went into the thing. It guillotined me right across my forearms. And I mean instantaneous. I mean, karate chop your forearm right now as hard as you can. I bet you black out. Good God. I mean fast. Right across. Oh Lord. That's how I walk. Oh Lord. Oh, because I can't move. I know. Oh, it's just broke. It's broke. There is no way. There's no way that my arms ain't broke. And I'm high. Oh God, Lord. I started drinking water immediately. Peed about 2 or 3 times. Everybody has seen it, you know what I mean? Dude mad at me, want me to take the piss test now because he about to lose his bonus. And I didn't need to report it. I didn't need to report it at all. I wasn't going to the doctor. I might have needed to go home to, because I couldn't move him for really good for a couple of days. Matter of fact, I never did that job again. I went over to the meat side. I think might have been like Thanksgiving. It was a holiday. Right before the holiday. Ain't that something? That's never cool. Yeah. So, I came back to work, and he was like, hey, man, and look, that department was right over there. I mean, like literally, because the hams came into one section, wheeled around, so it was a tight space, and they just all piled up, and it was a conveyor line of people cutting. Some people would cut them up to make them up to this, prepare them to slice them up to the hams and meat. Some people would cut it up into all kind of different ham products. There was different areas of people. Once it goes down the belt, there was different people doing different kind of packaging, and all the packaging was done by a machine. So when it got messed up, you had to know that machine how to fix it. I never figured out that seal machine because I think it was like 2 weeks into it, and I'd always just called because it would have about twice on a 12-hour shift it would mess up, and I just called down to the maintenance. Hey, look, man, machine, and it was always the same thing. But if you ever looked around how that thing went, Lord have mercy. Let's see how much it says use. Add 2 cups of boiling water. See how close you get. That's probably close. Now I'm going to add some pepper, salt and pepper for sure. And some milk. So I didn't use a whole 2 cups. Probably about 1.5 cups. Put just less than half a cup. This way, if I need to add anything, I can. I'm gonna put some butter in there too. Yeah, so it's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks into that, I got called to the office, and they was get ready to shut down the plant. And I was low man on the totem pole. I had only been there, man. I had a roller coaster ride too. I had only been there like 2 months. I got 3 raises. I went from like $12 an hour, I was making $17.50. Making I think I was making like 80 hours a week. Anything over 40 was overtime. They said that as soon as anything popped up, because that was like it was almost Christmas, and things were on the downcline. It's so wet. It's weird. And when you're using gravy, you use cold water. What's this called for? 1 cup empty small sauce, whisk, 1 cup of cold water. Let's see how close we can get. That cold. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper to that because I like pepper in the gravy. All right, the taters look about done. So I had to bow out gracefully. They never came. They just kept having cuts. There's something else now. I actually drove by there a few months ago. Old nostalgia thing, you know what I mean? It wasn't there. But I tell you, I had a lot of fun. Even doing the dishes, you know, being at the bottom of the pole. They had a packing plant. I really should have went. I really wish I would have went to the packing plant. That's all they do is box the hams and stuff up. And our job in there was to check the tear weights. Like, so the ham, you measure the ham, and then you cut the package off the ham. Then you measure the ham again, and that's how much the package weighs, called the tear weight. Pretty simple. Man, it's amazing how fast these potatoes cook. Actually look like potatoes. That is butter. I was wondering why the water wasn't boiling because I got the wrong thing on. I knew it was going to happen too. Yeah, I was hoping they was going to call, but I had got another job. the job at Bojangles in Selma. And I liked it too because it was busy. It was about an hour and a half drive. That kind of sucked, but I like driving, so it really didn't bother me that much. I really like driving. And probably why I was in that truck that got busted. Because I like driving. And got paid for it. Man, I really wanted that job back. You know, there's a lot of talking, and it was no work. I mean, like, no work. Like, the hardest thing, it wasn't anything hard. I mean, I can't think of anything hard. So if you get a chance, because they're open, they got really good food. They have really good benefits. Smithfield Packing Company. They gave you discounts on the. They would have a little bin of hams that didn't seal right or didn't meet their standards or whatnot. Discount. Somebody always got the best stuff, but there was always something. You know what I mean? Always. I always wondered, you know, because it'd be easy to just say, "Hey, this is bad." Put it up there. Get you some. I like it too. I eat it all the time. I mean, why not, right? I ever put some butter in the damn thing? About ready to go. Just about done. So there we go, right there. We got them damn pork chops. Got the gravy right here. Old taters. Yep, looking good. Looking good. I just want them in a couple more minutes. I got some of this North Carolina vinegar base sauce. I'm gonna put it right on it. Right on it. Right on it. Y'all want to see it? Y'all want to see what right on it looks like? See, here in North Carolina, got to have that vinegar. Oh, it's got the smell. Watch it hit it. Watch it hit it. Ready? Uh-oh. Just like that. Just like that. Oh, yeah. Then I'm going to hit it. You see it? Man, that's good. Now, I like mine a little spicy. Put a little, look, I got the CC's crushed red peppers. Put that right off. North Carolina, we love that Virginia, the vinegar base. Now look, I'm not gonna be playing around with this crushed red peppers. I don't recommend you do this, but I do spicy challenges. If you don't know that, I'm gonna actually crank the heat up to 450 again. I'm gonna mix. For let's go 7 minutes. Yeah, I like my especially my pork products. I really like them. I like them hot. I like some kind of really hot sauce on them. It's just how I am. We almost done here. Let's go ahead and start plating. I'm a huge fan of instant mashed potatoes. I have been my whole life. They're quick, they're easy, they look like mashed potatoes. Now I like mine to look a certain way. Let me show you mine. One more time. Okay, see it? That's a perfect amount of taters. You take it right in the middle. Right in the middle there. Just start beating it right down. Right in the middle. Right? I need me a scoop of butter. Right there. Ready? Right there. Now, right over that. This is how I do it every single time. A little bit of pepper. Just to coat it. That butter's in there melting real good. Now you hit it with the gravy. And I want a lot in the center. A little mess. Remember, that's where that hole's at. There. See, that's what the mashed potato thing is supposed to look like to me. Just like that. A little bit of taters hanging out on the side. A lot of gravy in the middle. What's messing me up, I never really made just one pack of either one. It's normally 2, 3, maybe 4. Or I get the whole box of taters and a whole thing, or make the gravy myself. Ooh! Wow, I just got a glass of vinegar, man. Wow, that really hit hard right there. Man. Woo! There's only one more thing I need to start to get down with. And look, I put a lot of crushed red peppers, and I'm gonna douse these. These ain't what I call for you to make pork chops. This is what your boy Uncle Bill, how he eats his pork chops and his mashed potatoes and gravy. I don't do it like this all the time. I really like shake and bake pork chops. We'll probably do that at some other time, a little bit down the road. That's really my favorite way to eat pork chops. Besides fried, there ain't nothing like fried pork chops. I just didn't want to do 1,000 dishes. Just always when you fry something, or there's gonna be flour everywhere. Look, we're gonna get dirty. Your boy likes to get dirty, but I like to get restaurant dirty. You know what I mean? And this ain't even my kitchen. Oh, excuse me, Lord. Good advice. If you're cooking with vinegar in the oven, when you open the door, back away from it. It's good advice. Man, that kicked me. Wow. We ready? We ready? You ready? I hope I got you ready to eat. These are spicy pork chops. These are from my man, who would like these? Old Johnny Scoville, Chase the Heat. If you're in the spicy content, that's your man. There's also my homeboy, Grizzly Heat, heating it up. Late for work. Bunch of good guys, man. That's into those hot challenges, the Tube of Terror, the Pocky One Chip Challenge, oh Lord, there's so many. The Death Nuts, the Nitro Gummy Bear. Things that if you're willing to see, if you got what it takes, if you think you're into spicy food, go to hot challenges, hot food challenges. One chip. Can you eat the one chip? Call it the gas station chip, the $9 gas, the $10 gas station chip. This year's edition turns your tongue blue. It really would destroy your stomach. Bad. And I think after 5 minutes, normally, typically after all those hot challenges, you finish the challenge and then they have what's called a 5-minute afterburn, a suffer session or something like that. They had like, if you last 10 minutes, this and that. I just did 5. It was bad, but that wasn't nothing like the Diablo challenge. That won't hurt you, boy. They all hurt. You figure, oh, it's hot, and just think about it. Oh, if it comes in hot, it goes out hot. You expect your bunghole to burn. You don't expect to die in the process of it getting there. And that's what it feels like. Like your intestines, they're in there. There's a whole long, you'll feel all of it. You feel all of it. And I'll be honest with you, man, it hurt so bad through my stomach, you just gripping pain. They call it capsaicin cramps. But what it is that distillate, or it's not just a pepper. It's not just eating Carolina Reaper peppers or the Bootla scorpions or any of those the world's hottest peppers. They actually did some engineering and put some heat and extracted it and just the pure stuff. So when you hear 1 million Scoville, like, oh wow, that's hot. Well, these challenges are 3 million, 5 million, 13 million, 16 million. It seems to be the max. 16 million capsaicin crystals just destroy you. Once you start getting over 1 million, it starts getting serious. Once you start getting over like just over the 1 million, man. When my high is 13, there is no joy. And if you watch Johnny Scoville, you get this kind of like where euphoric feeling. I mean, because you're like in trouble. Like you're like the heat in your mouth, your tongue, the back of your throat is where most of them get you really bad. The back of your throat is very, man. I mean, it'll have you nervous. Look at how many. Look at hot challenges. I called the ambulance. I went to the doctor. I went to the ER. Hot challenge fails. Believe me, folks, I could see why. But when you get there, all they're gonna do is like give you tons. There's nothing you can do. Oh, hey man, I seen you did all these challenges. I did like 6 of them. I got a playlist. Go under hot challenges. They're there. Watch your boy. Look what I had to go through. And I recommend, and I did that for YouTube and to test myself straight up. If you want to test yourself, that's what you do. If not, watch me and laugh at my pain. It's okay. And know that after each time I threw up and suffered, all of them immediately within 10 minutes, because I do all my challenges sitting down. For some reason, when I stand up, throwing up, like there's a bucket right there, and you can, if you throw up during the challenge before the challenge is over, you lose, and I don't want to lose. I mean, I didn't pay for this challenge to put it in, to bring it to you to fail. If I failed, I would have still showed it. You know what I mean? But you have to go to a place. Sometimes that's, when I talk about addiction and mental health, you got to go to a place. Can you go to that place and conquer that moment? That was a moment for me. Each one of this is a moment for me. And I need to have that moment work. And that meant that I had to suffer. And I had literally watched before I did any of them, a lot of people suffer. Everybody suffers different. A lot of people failed. How is this not off? Man, folks, I thought I turned this off a long time ago. Good God. Man. Well. You know, you can let yours rest and all that good stuff. I'm about to eat. I mean, here we go, folks. Bam. Huh? Now this is how we do it. This is how we do it. Huh? This is how we do it. Da, 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 da. Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. What'd you think? Got you ready to eat? Oven baked pork chops, mashed potatoes, and gravy. About to get down, folks. I'm about to get down. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down tonight, baby. Ooh. Well, I sure wish I could share this with you. I promise you, I'm going to enjoy it with you. So this is how you do it. Take it and dip it right on the outside of the middle. Say keep the middle. Oh boy. Woo! The Scoville on there is probably like 150, to be honest with you. But it may be hot to you. that's what I got for you today, folks. Oven baked pork chops with mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes, instant gravy. Really like smoking. Well, I was smoking. I did too. I really like working at Smithfield, man. It really was a good job. If you might be something you might be interested into, check them out. They're all over the place. It was a fun place to work. And if you haven't, I got those hot challenges. They're pretty cool. Give you something to watch. I promise you, you'll laugh. Hope everybody's having a good day and staying safe. Wish I could have shared this with you. If you can, hit that like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't.